Jamaican bop, cause I am a Jamaican. Now everywhere in this world I go, I am a Jamaican. And no ID I will have to show, cause I am a Jamaican. Them say, Lord, what a boy can run, that is a Jamaican. When them see the Rasta man from Jamdong, that is a Jamaican. Dressmaker, baker, tailor, shoemaker, market, woman in a donkey cart. Rivers and streams, fountains and mountains. In a Jamaica we have it all. Now everywhere in the world I go, I am a Jamaican. No birth papers I have to show, cause I am a Jamaican. When you hear that music I play out a door, it must be Jamaican. When you smell the food I cook when the breeze blow, got to be Jamaican. Hey, beautiful smile, God-fearing people. Known across the world, yet you're so simple. So simple. Hey, and it's not your fault that you're so loving and kind. Jam down, sweet Jamaica. Jamaica is island of mine. No matter anywhere I go, I am a Jamaican. No ID I man need to show, cause I am a Jamaican. Oh, them people they laugh so much, got to be Jamaican. They have overcome struggles and been through so much, got to be Jamaican.
Hey, it's a Thursday, all right. Tomorrow we celebrate Jamaican independence. What does it mean to you? 1962, were you alive? Wow, 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 wow. What did it mean to you? Looking at our constitution, our symbols, our emblems, our army, our currency, our passports, our culture. We, the people. What are we developing for the next 50-something years, people? That's what I'm asking you. What does independence mean to you? Now, earlier on, we spoke with the former Prime Minister of Jamaica from 1992 to 2006. I think he was the longest serving Prime Minister in Jamaica. He was in office for about 14 years, the longest serving in Jamaica's history. All right, that is the most honorable PJ Patterson. So we spoke to him and we asked him a couple of questions and his message for us during this independence. Let's hear what he had to say.
We are celebrating the 59th anniversary of Jamaica's independence when we assumed full responsibility for the conduct of our own affairs. That was and will always be a defining moment for the Jamaican people. We should mention here that so many of our sons and daughters have made us truly proud and enabled to establish our identity, certainly in the fields of culture and sports. But there have also been other areas where we have achieved significantly that right to express our opinion as a country and shape the future of the world in which we live. I would hope that by the time the 60th anniversary comes around next year, we will not only be celebrating that as an anniversary, but we will have made that final step to remove all traces of dependency on external forces. To be specific, I hope we will take the opportunity of announcing a fundamental reform in our constitutional parliamentary system. That would involve giving our legislature the power to move beyond our constitution, which is now an order in council to something which emanates from our own system as the Jamaican Constitution. That would also include the removal of the monarchy and the appointment of a president who is of Jamaican birth and origin. We should also by then take the final steps to remove an external court from being the final one. And I mean by that, we will move away from Privy Council to provide those powers in the CCJ. All these things will require constitutional changes that not only require agreement between our two political parties, but finally have to be put to the people by way of a referendum. We have gone a far way in having previous commissions prepare the reports to enable all of this. So we're not starting from scratch. I hope we will take out the reports that are available, dust off the colors, and make such changes as are required and sanctioned by the Jamaican people. Let me say happy anniversary to all Jamaica, and I will hope that by the next time we celebrate our anniversary, we will have taken the final steps of liberation from the monarchy and the Privy Council. Happy birthday, all Jamaicans. One love, one aim, one destiny.
Thank you so much, PJ Patterson, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, for stopping by with me earlier today to deliver his message, his thoughts. Happy birthday, Jamaica. And hey, he's saying, let's follow Barbados. Or let's do what we need to do. Are you people ready for a referendum? Are you ready for a referendum on this? Should we remove the Queen as the head of state? But no matter what, our people have fought, and we celebrate what we've accomplished to this date, and we look forward to what we will accomplish as a people. One love, one heart, one destiny. And as the right excellent Marcus Messiah Garvey would say, one God, one aim, one destiny. Jamaica, this is Eric Donaldson with Land of My Birth. We're going to play that, take a break, and when we come back, we will speak to the Honorable Bruce Golding, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, and hear his thoughts. Well, hello, my special listeners. All of you are special. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Just 10 more minutes left in the lunch date. A special hello to our friends listening in Tokyo. Konnichiwa. And we're celebrating our Jamaican athletes abroad, but we're also celebrating Jamaica's Independence Day tomorrow. Are we truly free? Do we want to remove the Queen as the head of state? Are we living up to our full potential? Let's hear now from former Prime Minister, the Honorable Bruce Golding, former Jamaican Prime Minister, served as the 8th Prime Minister of Jamaica from September 2007 to October 2011. Welcome, Mr. Golding. How are you?
Hi, Empress. How are you doing?
I'm alive. How are you enjoying your retirement, your grandkids, and all the other activities?
Well, I only hope that as soon as you finish the program, you're going to hurry and get home and look after my grandkids.
All right, full disclaimer, people. This is my father-in-law, the former Prime Minister of Jamaica. We are looking, though, Mr. G, at Jamaica and her future. What would you like to see done in the country right now to reflect our state of independence? Are we truly independent?
Well, let me go back a little bit. My reflections of our attainment of independence in 1962 are very nostalgic. I was 14 years old at the time. I was a fifth former at St. George's College. And I have vivid recollections of that event. I happened to have been at the National Stadium where the official ceremony was held. And I remember when the Union Jack, the symbol of British rule, came down and the black, green, and gold flag of Jamaica was raised. And I would tell you, there were goosebumps all over me, the excitement. It was like a national graduation after years of colonial rule, decades of colonial rule and centuries of slavery. We had become independent. We had come of age. It was a significant achievement. But one of the most significant things about that period, that time, was the sense of hope that young people like myself had. It will boggle your mind when I mentioned that in 1962, the total number of murders for that year was 66. That is what we are experiencing now in 3 weeks. Jamaica was peaceful. We were at one. We still had issues. There was color prejudice, yes. There was sharp distinction between the various classes. Those are things that we had to work on. But as a youngster, as a teenager, what I recall was that I had a sense of hope. As far as I was concerned, there was a vast horizon of opportunity awaiting me, and people of my generation. We felt that, if we worked hard, if we studied, if we remained focused, there was nothing that we couldn't achieve. We could get the best jobs. We could live in a good house. We could drive a good car. We had reached a stage where we were about to take off. And one of the regrets that I have, and it's something that we really need to focus on and confront, is the fact that hope, that sense of possibilities that I felt at that time, and people like me felt, has still remained an elusive dream for many Jamaicans. The average 14-year-old today doesn't feel that sense of optimism that I felt. Which is not to say that we have not accomplished many important things. I mean, in 1962, I was one of a privileged few that had access to a secondary education. Today, that is available to all our children. We have issues about the quality of that education, but there's also the importance of focusing on making good use of that opportunity, and I don't believe that doing that. I don't think that the parental guidance is what it ought to be. In 1962, for example, we didn't have a tourism industry. What tourism we had was confined to a hotel called Tower Isle in St. Mary, which was established by the late Abe Issa. Today we have a tourism industry that is our main foreign exchange earner. So there are many things that we have accomplished, but I think that we still have a deficit in terms of what independence ought to have brought us. You look at countries like, the story is always told about Singapore, that the Lee Kuan Yew, who was the Prime Minister of Singapore, came to Jamaica in 1964 to attend the Commonwealth Heads of Government Conference and was so impressed by what we were doing at that time that he took copious notes. He had discussions with ministers, Bob Lightburn and Donald Sangster and various other people. And he left Jamaica determined to go back to Singapore and apply what he saw being done in Jamaica. Well, we know what Singapore has become today. So we have went off we have gone off the rails on in a number of important respects, and one of the things that I hope that we will do during this independence anniversary is to focus on not just the celebration, and the festivities and the food and the liquor and so on, but if we can find some time to focus on, now look, we are 59 years on. We don't have 59 years of solid achievement to celebrate. Where did we go wrong? And what do we need to do to make up that deficit and to achieve the goals that independence had promised us? All is not lost. I am impressed with the focus and the tenacity and the spirit of our young people. I believe that in their hands lies the future of Jamaica. What I think we need to do is to encourage them, to facilitate them, to enable them, to give them every opportunity, because the solutions that they will be able to bring to the table are different from what people of my generation and my age would even begin to contemplate. Mm-hmm. And therefore, I want to encourage them at this time to understand that don't wait for the baton to pass. The baton is already in your hand. Run with it. There's no limit to what we can achieve. When you look at what Usain and Elaine and Shelley-Ann and Sharika have done, there's nothing that we can't achieve. We just need to focus, get busy, provide the dedication, the commitment, the hard work, and we will become the great Jamaica that we have dreamt for so long.
All right. Thank you for sharing your vision. Young people, the baton is in your hands. I have to ask you now, looking at what Prime Minister Mia Mottley has done, coming November 30, Barbados will become a republic. Let's look at Guyana. Let's look at Trinidad and Tobago. Do you believe that we should remove the Queen as the head of state, and how will we benefit if we do? And do we need a referendum to do that?
I believe that we should. And that's an agreement that we reached far back as 1995. That is more than 25 years ago. We reached that agreement, but there's a process that we have to go through. We have to have a referendum. The people have to have their say. And there are a number of other important changes that we have agreed on, which also need to be dealt with by way of a referendum.
How much longer, if we the people want that to happen, how much longer will it take if we're aggressive?
The process itself takes about 9 months. That's the process itself. Mm-hmm. The political will needs to be brought to the table. But once that is done and once there is consensus, because there has to be consensus, under our constitutional arrangements, if there is not agreement between the two major parties in Parliament, then it requires a majority in a referendum of 66 2/3%.
Okay.
There is no vote in Jamaica that has ever achieved that. So it's essential that there be consensus, and I believe that there can be. The sticking point really has been the issue of the Privy Council of the Caribbean Court of Justice.
So with the
that has been the sticking point.
I only have 30 seconds left. With the Prime Minister now, the Jamaican Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, it has now been appointed to the Privy Council. That could be a conflict, right? If we wanted to achieve that,
Not really.
Okay.
It is more an honorific. Mm-hmm. It's not really a substantive assignment. It is more an honor position.
Okay.
And the fact is that there are prime ministers in countries that are republics
that are appointed to the Privy Council.
Yes, because they still remain within the Commonwealth. Trinidad
That's
is a republic, but Trinidad remains within the Commonwealth. Once you're within the Commonwealth, then your prime minister can be a member of the Queen's Privy Council.
Okay. Mr. Golding, I'm getting the rap signal there. I'm going to abide by the rules. I have to go. Thank you so much and happy independence to you. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here with us. I also want to thank former Prime Minister PJ Patterson, all my guests that join me, all my listeners. I appreciate you so much. Jamaica, to all my Olympians, I appreciate you. On a walk good. And remember, one country, one love, one God, one aim, one destiny. Let's have a dream. Let's have hope. And let's work together.
All nations have them sensation, and every nation have them adoration. This is the time for a happy meditation. Nobody first enjoy the celebration.